Oh, like I said, man, that's a big dude. You know what I mean? He ain't even at 168. You know, when you look
But not now. It's at 175, yeah.
he probably can't even make 168 no more. When you look at these fights, you know, especially
like I said, I don't want no handouts either. I want to, you know, earn my spots everywhere I go, even at 175. But, you know, I see that weight class, you know, I want to become champion at 175, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah, that's a tough fight. I don't know if Bud can overcome that. That's different. That's a lot. That's a lot to overcome. Height, reach, the speed of Benavidez coming downhill, the stamina, because this a guy that does get stronger as the fight goes also. So some of the advantages he had over Canelo, he wouldn't have if Benavidez. I think it would be a question if Benavidez can make the weight.
But yeah, I mean, if the fight comes up, the opportunity comes up, I would love that fight.
So you're saying 160 versus Crawford, you do?
Oh yeah.
Right after defeating Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford responded directly to comments about a potential fight with David Benavidez, stating that Benavidez might not even be able to make the 168-pound super middleweight limit, a remark that immediately sparked widespread debate. During an interview with Stephen A. Smith, Crawford was asked about future opponents, and when the subject of Benavidez came up, he delivered a pointed rebuttal. His suggestion that Benavidez could struggle to reach the division's weight requirement fueled discussions across social media and among analysts, with many questioning whether a matchup between the two fighters was realistically possible. That single comment turned the conversation into one of the hottest topics in boxing.
But if you were at 168, when we think about anybody at 168 outside of Canelo, the first name that comes to anybody's mind is David Benavidez. What about the potential for a fight like that?
oh, like I said, man, that's a big dude. You know what I mean? He ain't even at 168. You know, when you look
But not now. It's at 175, yeah.
he probably can't even make 168 no more. When you look at these fights, you know, especially coming up, you gotta be realistic. You gotta, you know, say, all right, you know, how big is this dude really is? Because David Benavidez, he can fight his ass off, you know. And I told him that a long time. I told him that when, you know what I mean, before I fought his brother. You know, I said, man, dude, you can fight, dude. You gonna do big things.
Terence Crawford's strong statement only intensified the discussion about his future opponent. Voices from outside boxing also joined the conversation. Henry Cejudo and Kamaru Usman, both respected combat sports figures, shared their opinions. They agreed that David Benavidez is capable of making the 168-pound limit and argued that a matchup between Crawford and Benavidez would determine the true top fighter. In their view, weight excuses are irrelevant. The biggest fight should happen so that the debate is settled inside the ring. Fans, they emphasized, want competition between the very best, not delays or obstacles.
Hear me out here, Kamaru. Terence Crawford versus the Mexican monster, David Benavidez.
I knew it was coming.
He was the mandatory for Canelo.
Oh my God. Relax.
What's up? The scariest guy in the division.
He's not in the division.
He said he could still make 168 pounds. Dude. The reason why he was up because nobody wants to fight him.
That's a big dude. And to be honest, Terence Crawford's 37 years old.
It's about merit. Could I get to the generational talent, as he said, with Manny Pacquiao? He's an 8-division world champ.
If it ain't no big name, Terence, do what you do.
While these discussions continued, Terence Crawford used his post-fight press conference to respond to his doubters. He reminded everyone how frequently he had been underestimated and dismissed, how many people once called him irrelevant, and how those same critics were now silent after his dominant performance against Canelo Alvarez. Speaking with confidence and clear satisfaction, Crawford challenged the audience to explain what else could possibly be said against him. His message reflected total belief in his abilities and an understanding that the boxing landscape had shifted in his favor.
Which do you think means all the most?
And all of it. It all goes hand in hand.
Can you describe what it all means to you to have? You just made like a whole resume of stuff tonight.
It means a lot to me because, you know, anybody can be a nobody. Like I said, you know, and that's all they say I've been fighting is nobodies. So what can they say now? Somebody tell me, what can you say now?
You can say congratulations.
That's it.
Still, David Benavidez refused to remain quiet and pushed back against Terence Crawford's remark about making 168 pounds. He argued that the real issue was not weight, but division, pointing out that Crawford competes in a different weight class and therefore has no reason to question him. Benavidez, who considers himself naturally suited for the 175-pound category, emphasized that he has his own goals and career direction. From his perspective, Crawford's comments sounded more like distraction than meaningful criticism, an attempt to avoid the risk of a direct confrontation rather than a legitimate assessment of his capabilities.
I wouldn't fight Crawford. I'm at 175.
Despite his statements, many observers started questioning whether David Benavidez might be trying to avoid the fight altogether. While Terence Crawford's team suggested he could struggle with the weight limit, Benavidez appeared more interested in pursuing different opponents. Reports indicated that he was looking toward a potential matchup with Dimitri Bivol, a highly dangerous contender in the higher weight divisions. This sparked debate. Was Benavidez avoiding Crawford, or was he simply focusing on challenges that better align with his long-term career goals?
I mean, this is a tough fight. You know, the top people ranked at WC are fighting each other. So I mean, it should be an easy call. If I can't get those fights, and I'll go up to fight people, or I'll go try to, I set my conquest on 175. Like I said, I don't want no handouts either. I want to, earn my spots everywhere I go, even at 175. But I see that weight class. I want to become champion at 175. And
at the same time, talk of a showdown between Terence Crawford and David Benavidez kept building behind closed doors. Stephen Edwards, widely known as Coach Breadman, shared that the interest in making the fight is genuine. He explained that Turki Alashik has expressed serious intent in arranging the matchup, suggesting that powerful figures outside the fighters' camps could be working to bring it together. That information intensified the speculation, because when influential promoters step in, a bout that once seemed unlikely can quickly become a reality.
Even though he hasn't been at 60, there's no big names at 60. 68, maybe the Benavidez fight. That's a tough fight for Bud. I ain't gonna lie, that's a tough fight. Benavidez ain't no joke. Yeah, that's a tough fight. I don't know if Bud can overcome that. That's different. That's a lot. That's a lot to overcome. Height, reach, the speed of Benavidez coming downhill, the stamina. Because this a guy that does get stronger as the fight goes also. So some of the advantages he had over Canelo, he wouldn't have at Benavidez. I think it will be a question if Benavidez can make the weight. I know he's been there at 75 recently.
As the rumors grew louder, Jose Benavidez Sr., father and trainer of David Benavidez, shared his perspective. He began by recognizing the talent and accomplishments of Terence Crawford, giving him full credit for what he has achieved. However, he quickly made it clear that facing David would present a completely different test than fighting Canelo Alvarez. He emphasized the strength and intensity behind his son's punches and warned that this matchup would not resemble Crawford's previous victory. In his view, Crawford would be stepping into the ring with a fighter at the peak of his powers, and the outcome would look very different from what fans had just seen. His comments served both as support for his son and as a strong message that David represents the most dangerous force in the division.
I think David's too big for Terence Crawford. I think Terence Crawford will be like 38 years old, I mean, it will not be the same as Canelo, man. We know David comes in and throws a lot of punches and put the pressure. And no disrespect to Terence Crawford, he's the best pound for pound. He's in the books to do history. He did something that nobody could do. But at the end of the day, we're talking about the Mexican monster, David's young, strong, super big for Terence Crawford. Even Terence Crawford said that Kavalowski's or whatever.
On the opposite side, Brian McIntyre, the longtime coach of Terence Crawford, quickly downplayed the possibility of a bout with David Benavidez. While others fueled the excitement, he made it clear that their camp is concentrating on steady career moves and practical next steps. His remarks showed that they have no intention of allowing public demand or promotional pressure to shape their decisions. For McIntyre, maintaining focus and discipline matters more than pursuing attention-grabbing matchups.
Canelo.
Turkey dropped.
People
Turkey,
are talking about it.
Turkey hinted at that. He was like Benavidez.
Yeah, he
Turkey.
did.
So
Turkey just posted that this morning, wondering if Benavidez can make 168. Maybe he has plans or ideas of maybe trying to match up Benavidez and Terence Crawford.
No,
man. No, we ain't doing that fight. Maybe planning on vacating the belts.
No, we ain't gonna vacate the belts. You know, we just gonna sit where we need to sit for a minute, and then, just like I said, get back in the gym and do our thing.
Honest.
And he don't want none.
As the exchange continued, another contender joined the conversation. *** Virgil Ortiz Jr. ***. The rising fighter shared his opinion and openly challenged Terence Crawford, saying he would welcome the opportunity to face him under one condition. The bout would need to happen at 160 pounds. For Ortiz, that requirement was reasonable, and he made it clear he was ready to measure himself against the current pound-for-pound leader. With that statement, he presented himself as a competitor prepared to act, while others remained caught up in ongoing discussions.
But yeah, I mean, if the fight comes up, the opportunity comes up, I would love that fight.
So you're saying 160 versus Crawford, you do?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Even if it's right now like at 154, like let's say he says, you know what, I want you to jump up to 160.
Why not? I mean, I feel like I'm a big 154 as it is, you know? I mean, I was a big 140. I was a 140, a big 140, a big 147, a big 154. I think 160, I've always said I'd go to 160 eventually, so why not?
Virgil Ortiz Jr. continued by addressing whether David Benavidez could return to the 168-pound division, and he made clear he does not believe that is realistic. In his view, reaching the super middleweight limit at this point would be extremely difficult for Benavidez. By saying this, Ortiz not only questioned Benavidez's ability to make the weight, but also cast fresh doubt on the matchup many fans want to see. His comments reinforced the earlier stance taken by Terence Crawford, adding another outside opinion that challenges the feasibility of the proposed fight.
I mean, I don't know if David can make the weight anymore. I mean, it's one thing to want to go down, but are you still able to? So I don't know. Would it entice him? Maybe, but that doesn't mean that he can do it. You know, I mean, he's been at 168 for a while.
All these statements, responses, and forecasts have given fans a lot to consider. Terence Crawford has already secured his place among the top fighters of this era, proving his level by defeating Canelo Alvarez and accomplishing something historic that only a few in boxing ever achieve. Still, even with that achievement so recent, attention has quickly turned toward the future. The conversation keeps growing, with every interview, podcast appearance, and news story circling back to the same issue. Who is next for Crawford? And will David Benavidez ultimately be the one to answer that challenge?
Benavidez. He said he wondered if Benavidez could make 168.
We just talked to Womack and he was like, "Nah, we don't want to do that."
I just think Benavidez. He's like what, 6'5", 6 something like that. He's a big dude, bro. He's a big dude, man. So I just who knows? Now you got fight announcements now. They got Rey Mysterio fighting Andrew Tate and I don't know, just crazy stuff. So we'll see, man.
David Benavidez still stands as both a serious challenger and an unanswered question. Doubts about his weight class, his direction, and his true plans continue to circulate. Commentators, active fighters, and even people close to him have shared their opinions. Yet there is still no clear answer on whether a bout with Terence Crawford will actually take place. What cannot be denied is that the growing tension between their names has reignited major discussion across the sport. The focus has shifted beyond simply praising Crawford's accomplishments or analyzing Benavidez's upside. Now the real issue is whether their separate journeys will finally meet inside the ring.
About fighting Benavidez, that's just Turkey trying to pull rank. Turkey trying to show he got a golden arm. You know what I mean?
I understand that Turkey likes to make these big grand events, but there's a boxing aspect to this shit too. Like some stuff gotta make boxing sense. Bringing the dude down that's been comfortable at 75, bringing him back down to 68, and then having him fight a dude that just jumped 3 weight classes in 2 fights that started his career off at 35.
Right.
Like, no, bro. No.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. There's no point. There's no point. Like I said, Bud needs to just go get it lined.
From a reported behind-the-scenes role of Turkey Alashik to the surprise challenge from Virgil Ortiz Jr., the story keeps gaining new angles with each passing day. Terence Crawford may have quieted many of his doubters, yet fresh challengers continue to step forward. While Jose Benavidez Sr. has delivered strong warnings in support of his son, figures like Brian McIntyre and Ortiz have steered the conversation in different directions. As always, the sport of boxing feeds off these shifting narratives and constant developments.
Would you ever entertain a fight with David Benavidez?
You gotta understand.
I gotta ask you, bro, because I can't, you know?
My thing is, Benavidez is a big dude. Not to say I won't fight him. I fought his brother. His brother was big when I fought him. The only reason why I entertain Canelo is because he's not a big dude. He might be thick, but he's not a big dude. Benavidez is like 6 foot something. Then he gonna come in 190, 200 probably. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. Like, that's a big dude.
And he's skilled.
I might as well go to heavyweight if I fight